नमस्कार। आज 25 जुलाई 2022 मंडे को चैट विद डॉक्टर के SCFI हार्ट केयर फाउंडेशन ऑफ इंडिया के इस प्रोग्राम में आप सभी व्यूअर्स का जो DR के अग्रवाल के यूट्यूब फेसबुक पेज से जुड़े हैं उन सबका स्वागत है। और आज का जो हमारा टॉपिक है वाटर कंजर्वेशन एंड ग्राउंड वाटर रिचार्ज। ये टॉपिक बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है। वाटर की इम्पोर्टेंस हम सभी लोग समझते हैं और जो अवर वाटर रिसोर्सेस आर डिप्लीटिंग ईच ईयर ड्यू टू दिस पॉपुलेशन बूम एंड एक्सेस नीड ऑफ वाटर टू रन अवर जो एवर एक्सपेंडिंग मॉडर्न लाइफ स्टाइल. Water scarcity is felt all over the world. In India also, the Niti Aayog report, which is a government think tank, the Niti Aayog report states that 21 major cities in India, including New Delhi, Chennai, Bangalore, and Hyderabad, are all set to run out of the groundwater. By the year 2030, जो कि बहुत से कमिटमेंट हैं क्लाइमेट चेंज के, जो COP26 ग्लासगो में हुई थी, और बहुत से कमिटमेंट हैं SDG कमिटमेंट्स है 2030 तक. तो by the year 2030, the India water demand is projected to be twice the available supply. This implying severe water scarcity for hundreds of millions of people. And the groundwater is the primary source of fresh water that caters to the demand of ever-growing domestic, agriculture, and industrial sector in our country. Therefore, adopting the rainwater harvesting practices and recharge groundwater is one of the simplest and best measure in conserving water globally in that way. Since in the most part of India, this time monsoon season is going on, then definitely the rainwater harvesting and groundwater recharging is a simple strategy by which rainfall is collected and stored for future use. Though we have the also the different water conservation measures at our home also. We have to how to conserve water by simple methods, and various government departments and authorities of the state governments and other authority water supply agencies are providing incentives for the promoting rainwater harvesting and the groundwater, and also imposing penalty if rainwater harvesting system are not there in the certain identified houses, buildings, township. In Delhi also, the Delhi Jal Board, who is a authority for water supplying, providing a lot of incentives for the various houses and buildings for adopting these practices. And today we have the privilege to have with us one of my colleague from the Heart Care Foundation of India, Sri Vivek Kumar ji. He is a trustee in the Heart Care Foundation of India, Dr. के SCFI, and also a great environmentalist and industrialist. So वो विवेक जी हमारे जो है ट्रस्टी हैं, उनसे हम सुनेंगे. और हमारे गेस्ट हैं आज श्री राधे श्याम त्यागी जी, RS त्यागी जी, जो कि मेंबर वाटर दिल्ली जल बोर्ड में थे, और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ दिल्ली जो वाटर सप्लाई एजेंसी है दिल्ली जल बोर्ड गवर्नमेंट ऑफ दिल्ली की, राधे श्याम त्यागी जी वॉज द मेंबर वाटर, जो कह सकते हैं कि हाईएस्ट पोस्ट होती है आफ्टर द CEO ऑफ द दिल्ली जल बोर्ड. तो नेक्स्ट टू द वाटर जो है मेंबर वाटर होता है, जो वाटर का सारा देखते हैं, वो मेंबर वाटर थे. और हमारे फ्रेंड हैं और हमारे क्लासमेट भी रहे हैं MBA में, और हम लोगों ने बहुत से इस काम किया है दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट में ज्वाइंटली. तो आज हमारे ये जो स्पीकर हैं विवेक जी हैं, राधे श्याम त्यागी जी हैं, हम लोग मिलकर डिस्कस करेंगे. तो पहले मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा विवेक कुमार जी से कि आज के सब्जेक्ट पे अपने व्यू एक्सप्रेस करें. ओवर टू विवेक कुमार जी.
Namaskar to all the viewers, and I would like to thank Radhe Shyamji for joining us. I know he is in Germany right now in Berlin, but he has abundance of knowledge and he has a very good experience in water conservation and ground recharge. And it's a very important subject because monsoons are going on. And during the monsoon, it is the right time to recharge the groundwater, which can be used by us over the passage of next 1 year. So please do use this opportunity to learn and understand the importance and how we can recharge the groundwater, which is for your own use. And you get the best quality of water once you recharge the groundwater because it goes through various filtration. And now I would like to thank Dr. Anil Kumar for organizing this on behalf of HCFI. And I would like to leave this platform today for Dr. Anil Kumar and Radhe Shyamji to take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivek ji. I request now our friend R.S. Tyagi ji to on the subject to enlighten our the viewers जो आज यूट्यूब फेसबुक पे से जुड़े हुए हैं. तो ओवर टू आर एस त्यागी सर. थैंक यू.
नमस्कार व्यूअर्स. मैं इसको स्क्रीन शेयर कर सकता हूँ इसमें?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर.
इसमें आ नहीं रहा मेरा वो.
आई थिंक शेयर में तो सपना ऑलरेडी है सर का जो है ना, तो ही कैन शेयर फ्रॉम देयर. या
आई एम ट्राइंग टू शेयर.
हाँ जी सर, शेयर स्क्रीन से आप शेयर कर सकते हैं.
जी
जी जी जी आप करिए सर.
एंटायर स्क्रीन से ना?
हाँ उसमें करेंगे स्क्रीन शेयर में.
शेयर स्क्रीन आ रहा होगा ना सर? शेयर स्क्रीन आ रहा होगा. शेयर आ रहा है.
ये 3 ऑप्शन आ रहे हैं. शेयर स्लाइड्स,
स्लाइड्स करिए.
स्लाइड्स.
हाँ, फिर आपके जो भी डेस्कटॉप योर कंप्यूटर. हाँ जी हाँ जी.
अपलोड फाइल. ओके आ गया. थैंक यू. It is not visible on the screen.
हाँ विजुअल नहीं हो रहा सर. विजुअल तो नहीं हो रहा.
वही मैं
सर वो अपलोड करना पड़ेगा. फिर आप
अपलोड हो रहा है.
हाँ जी, उसके बाद दिख जाएगा.
प्रोसेसिंग. इज प्रोसेसिंग.
जी जी
ये शायद आ गया है.
यस
आ गया. यस. As rightly said by Dr. Anil and by Mr. Vivek Kumar, that water is very important subject for everyone. And nowadays the entire season is a rainy season, and a huge quantity of water is flowing through the rivers and through the water bodies and going waste to the oceans. And we are not doing anything. The water is the most common or major substance on the earth, covering more than 70% of the planet's surface. And all living things consist of mostly water. For example, the human body is about 2/3 of water. We have 2/3 of water in our body, and around and the total volume, only 2%, that is 2,80 lakhs cubic meter, is only the fresh water for the entire world. For industrial use, maybe for drinking, it depends on the priority of use. The average runoff in the river system of India has assessed an 1869 cubic meter. Of this, the utilization portion of the convention's storage and diversion is estimated about the 690 cubic meter. Kilometer cube. In addition, there is a substantial replenishable groundwater potential in the country, 432 cubic meter. These are some potential of storage as well as for replenishment of the groundwater through the rainwater system, which is going waste most of the time. The per capita availability of water at the national level has reduced from 5177 cubic meter in the year 1951 to the present values 1869. So it has been reduced, say, more than say, it hardly has been reduced to 33%. For improving per capita water availability in the country, replacement groundwater resources is very necessary. If you see the list, in 11 districts, 9 has been declared as dry zone, means you can put them in the red zone. There is no groundwater available in those zones, and these are totally banned. So this is the bifurcation of the water which is available in the planet. Out of our total available fresh water, that is 33%, 97% is in ocean, 70% is frozen, that is in glaciers, 1% what you see in the lakes and the rivers, and 22% is available in the ground. And everybody knows the importance of the water. Water is the key natural resource for the human survival. Water plays a vital role in sanitation of our rural and the urban communities also. Water is also an important economic resource. It is necessary for home, means it is required for the industrial use. This is required for the agriculture. For everywhere, you use the water for economical growth. Water also provides a wide range of ecosystem and environmental services, and it is also important for assimilation of the pollution caused by the industries or by the human being. So this is the importance of water, everybody knows. So why do go for the rationalization of use of water? Why do we go for the optimum utilization of water? Because we have seen what is the importance of the water and what is the availability, how water is available. And everybody says that water is the natural resources. No, this is not. This is a natural resources, but when it comes to the your houses, then it becomes the scarce commodity. It is combination of two words. One is the scarce, another is a commodity. Commodity is always purchased. It is not free of cost. Scarce means it is very available. The quantum is very limited for utilization. So commodity means why it is being called as commodity when it is coming to your houses, because it requires a huge expenditure in construction of the dams, construction of the conveyance main, construction of the water treatment plant, laying of the conveyance main. So there are so many huge expenditure is goes to the to make it available for at your doorstep and to make it for usable for drinking. So we have to go for the water conservation, means how to utilize this water, how to conserve the water. The second portion is the rainwater harvesting, how to store the rainwater which is going waste, and how many ways in what how many ways we can store the water or we can replenish the groundwater. And the third and very important thing is the awareness program. Until unless you know the importance of water, you cannot use the water rationally. So water conservation, there are so many methods of water conservation: use of modern irrigation method, change in crop pattern, flood management, industries, use of water efficient fixtures, use of recycled water, change in lifestyle, and designing water tariff. So these are some ways of conserving the water. I will explain one by one. Generally, we say that conservation should be applied in the drinking water. No, drinking water is hardly 30% of the total water consumed. Most of the water that is maybe that varies from say 70 to say 90% water is used in the irrigation purposes, and we don't notice, we don't rather resist on them to go for the modern irrigation method. We still in you go to the villages and see that still agriculture farming and the irrigation is being done as a flood irrigation. So water, most of the water is going waste, whereas we can use the deep irrigation, we can use the sprinkling irrigation where the 70 to 90% of the water which is being wasted in the flood irrigation, that can be saved and that can be utilized for other purposes. The second one is, if you go for the change in the crop pattern, like where the water is scarce and you are going for the paddy crop, then it will where from you will bring the water? You don't have the water, and the paddy crop consumes a lot of water. So you can use that crop which requires the minimum quantity of water for its growing. So if you apply in such a manner that you can grow two crops which requires less water, you can grow alternatively one crop, another crop which requires less water, or in irrigation which crop require more water than you can grow in the rainy season. So if you change in the crop pattern, then you can a huge quantity of water can be saved. The third one is the flood management. You see that almost you see that Assam is under inundation, the Bihar is under inundation, and there are so many states where the flood, every year there is a flood, and there is no management of flood management over there. On the other side, there are some arid zones like this Gujarat, that is Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. They are the dried zone. They don't have the water for irrigation or for drinking purpose. So there was some scheme of the central government to interlinking of the rivers, which could manage the floods, which is occurring every time, every year in every states. So this is also the one way of the water conservation. The fourth one is the water industries. We are using the groundwater as well as the filter water in the industries, which are the process industries, where the recycled water can be used, and the water which can be uh, disposed from the industries, that can be recycled, that can be revived, that can be recycled and reused in the industries. That is not happening. So if we sorry, if we use the water in industries very rationally, or in treated effluent, that is a very popular, that is available in abundance in every city. If it is used for the industries purpose, like we are using in Delhi, for the cooling purposes, thermal power plant, they are using the treated effluent. There's various industries we are using the treated effluent. So this groundwater and the filter water can be saved, a lot of water can be saved, but it requires the aggressive awareness and the promotion of the water for using the recycled water. There are some ways of where you can use the water efficient fixtures which is not in use, and that is not being promoted by the government. In 2014, I remember 2014 last, I initiated a note in Delhi Jal Board to the cabinet that these type of the water efficient fixtures should be promoted to use by the most of the people in Delhi, and that can be used because if you reduce the VAT on those, so these should be economized, and the VAT should be exempted on these water efficient fixtures. Like in in the ancient toilets, we were using the 10 to 15 liters of water in one flush, and if you go for three times or four times or say sometimes five times, even for urinal, if you go for one time, then you are wasting the 15 liters of water in in flush. Now the water efficient fixtures have come, the toilets have the flushing system has come, where which are using hardly 4 to 5 liters of water. Means you are saving a 10 liters of water in one. These waterless urinals have come. These are seen in some of the toilets, public toilets, but these are not very prominent in houses and other places. They can use the water in abundance. Like for washing the hands, their water jets are in market, though they are expensive, but they are saving 90% of the water use, which is consumed through the normal taps, because they suck the air, 90% air, 10% water, that serve the same purpose which we are taking from the normal taps and wasting a lot of time, a lot of water also. So there are some very water efficient fixtures which can save the water to large extent, but this should be promoted by the government. The exemption should be given, on the taxes in form of taxes, so that everybody can purchase these and these type of fixtures. There are some other habits of conservation, as rightly said by Dr. Anil Kumar and the Vivek ji, that there are some good habits. Turn the tap off when the brushing your teeth, wet your brush and use a glass of rinsing instead of continuous discharging of water through the taps. Don't rinse your razor under a running tap. Filling the basin with a little warm water is an effective and less water wasteful. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit cold. Connect kitchen waste pipe to the kitchen garden. So the water which is going waste to the going to the toilets and to the sewer line, that use can be used for the your irrigation, for the horticulture purpose also. The launder full loads when possible, means when you are going to wash your clothes, you just full of loads is given to the washing machine, and then a huge quantity of water is wasted. Even your maid wastes a lot of water when she washes the clothes. So they kept uh, the water tap open continuously till the clothes are cleaned and washed off. So these are some good habits which you should watch, and you should be very careful in using the water at that time. Avoid keeping water running when washing fruits and vegetables, even in kitchen. So continuous you are washing the fruits and the vegetables and wasting the water. Washing them in a bowl, conserve water. You just rinse in the bowl, and then water can come out. Promote using water efficient fixtures, I have earlier said. Use bucket in place of shower. Sometimes you keep on taking bath through the shower and sing a song, and going waste water, lot of water going waste. Rather, some of the hotels I have seen in the Europes and the USA also, that they have removed all the water, these bathtubs. They are putting the showers. You stand and then take the shower and then go away. Then that I think 70% water is saved through this practice. So we can avoid the bathtub in our houses also. Even that is a very interesting thing, that by default my AC was some water was leaking through the AC. So I kept a tube out of the AC and then started filling my bottles. 20-liter jar I used to have in my house. So it is filled in a time span of 1 or 2 hours during the rains. Means when you there is a when there is a humidity is high. So I use that water in the irrigation for horticultural purposes, for flushing, for washing. So even that water can be saved. That water can be saved and used. So these are some habits which everybody should apply. Then the second part is the rainwater harvesting. What and why? Storing rainwater or injecting rainwater in the ground instead of allowing it to flow in the open drain is called a rainwater harvesting or rainwater storage. What is the difference between the storage and the harvesting? You are harvesting the rainwater. If it is going through the ground, then it is harvesting. Though harvesting is both. When you are storing in a storage for using it at later stage by your own purpose, so that is a storage. Storage is for your purpose, but harvesting is for everyone purpose, because it is going to the ground and being utilized by everyone, not by yourselves. So that is, one is the selfishness, another is the for your social cause. So there is a difference between the rainwater harvesting and the storage. Generally what we do, that we generally emphasizes on the individual houses to store the water, to go for the rainwater harvesting, whereas there are so many ways of rainwater harvesting which you cannot think of. Rather, like this is the, as I already said, that out of the 11 district line have been declared as the dried zone, and then only 2 zone, that is north zone and the central zone, are there where there's some little water is there, groundwater is there. So these are the some advantages of the rainwater harvesting, that you are improving the quality and quantity of the groundwater, and you are supplementing the drinking water. Whatever you are extracting from the ground, you are giving back to the ground. So that should be our duty. Recharge of aquifer, level of groundwater table rises, saving of energy. When the water table goes up and you are extracting it, then the energy will be less. Reduce soil erosion as the surface runoff is reduced. Relief from the waterlogging on roads and the streets. Even choking of stormwater drain as well as the local flooding reduces. Water bodies are revived and people around it are associated for the recreation. Prevents ingress of sea water in surface aquifer in coastal area. You will surprised to know that in the Bangalore there was a city, that is Sun City, used to be inundated during the rains. What they have do, they have gone for the rainwater harvesting in the stormwater drain. At every 30 feet, they just dig a well and fix the perforated those rings. And during the rains, those wells, individual wells in the drain, store the water and then percolate it through the ground. And their problem has been resolved for all the times. So this is the very much good benefit. Actually, the government should go for the rainwater harvesting at the community level. You know that, Mr. Dr. Anil, you have been in
जी,
environment and forest, and there always hue and cry that there are more than 1,000 water bodies in Delhi.
yeah.
If the rainwater can be stored in those water bodies, and these are improved and these are developed, then these water bodies can be more beautiful than the Bangalore. And the used water can be percolated through the ground, thus improving the water table and supplementing the water supply. So these are the community level rainwater harvesting. Like I have given the example that stone water, even stone water drain can be used as a rainwater harvesting structures. Rainwater harvesting structure can be so, constructed in the parks, in the forest area, ridge area. You can store the water over there, but nobody thinks over that. We just emphasizes on, no, you are constructing a house, you go for the rainwater harvesting. And it is a fact that everybody is constructing the rainwater harvesting structure in their compound just for the formality sake. After constructing and getting inspected by the government officer, nobody cares about its maintenance. So these are all abandoned. So these are not being utilized. Rather, we should go for the rainwater harvesting system at the community level, as I have given the example. Like abandoned mines, you think of the Bhati mines and Jaipur mines. I initiated a project to store the rainwater as well as the treated effluent of good quality water in the Bhati mines. And entire Gurgaon and the south district of Delhi could be fed that drinking water from that mines. So there is so much potential of storing the rainwater as well, the treated effluent through the abandoned mines. You can think of the check dams in the forest area and store the rainwater which is going waste to the which is flowing in the stored can be for even in the institutional buildings, the big institutional buildings, the malls. They should be emphasized. They should be forced to go for the rainwater harvesting system, which can be fruitful and can be useful also. These are some examples of check dams in the forest area where you can store the water that can percolate through the ground. These are some bhati mines, lakes. This is the example of that Bangalore in the Sun City, where they have constructed the rainwater harvesting system in the drains at every 30 meter interval, and they have this is the Rainbow Drive city colony. Sorry. So these are some kacha drains. I have taken the photographs from that area, that is Washington DC. So this is the drain going to that NASA, and the both sides of the drain there is a kacha drain, and there is a 30-meter interval. There is a some gravels for filtration. This is a filtration media through which the water goes inside the in the ground, and not even a single drop is seen in the drain even. So it can even accommodate the cloud burst also. So this is constructed in such a manner. So these are some method of rainwater harvesting which Delhi Jal Board has already uh, developed and published a document on what are the methods of rainwater harvesting system. If you go for the individual rainwater harvesting, you have to measure the area of the roof, and then the average rainfall of the daily, then multiplied by area into the average rainfall. That decides the how much water can be collected through the rainwater harvesting system. So some steps were taken by Delhi government. Some policies were uh, initiated, um, brought in the in 2005. There some incentive also was given to the for the community groundwater storage, groundwater harvesting, but that has been abandoned after the AAP government, and they have enforced the rainwater harvesting system for the new building on the plots of more than 100 square meter and above. So these are some enforcement. The public is forced forced. They are not using. They are not going for their own wish. So they are being forced, and that is why I am saying that all these structure which have been constructed for the sake of the formality are abandoned. They are not given the priority of how it is maintained. Rather, there is a regulation that all building having a minimum discharge of 10,000 liters per day, they should go for the water recycling system. Though they have installed the recycling system, they have installed the sewage treatment plant, but the treated effluent they are not using it because it is expensive, and they are throwing this sewer into the drains. So there are some NGOs have also come into the action, that they have taken some water bodies in Dwarka, and they have tried to rejuvenate uh, those water bodies by linking the stormwater drain with the water bodies. But for 1 year it was went well. Otherwise, they are lying abandoned again. And these are some a published booklet on the rainwater harvesting system for public use. So this is the booklet which is being published by the Jal Board, that can be utilized by the public for designing and constructing the rainwater harvesting in their premises. So I am not going into the detail how
Yeah.
to calculate. So these are some guidelines and how you can go for the rainwater harvesting system. So there are some three case studies which is based on the community level rainwater harvesting system. One is the best example of regeneration Rajokri water bodies. So that was taken up by flood control and Delhi Jal Board together, and it was very heavily polluted. That is near Rajokri in Southwest district. There was solid waste dumping, highly encroached upon from all the sides. Stormwater surface runoff was going to the roads and thus causing the inundation in the entire rural areas. No watershed management and no well defined catchment of rainwater was there. Residents were trying to keep them away from these water bodies due to the bad smell and the shabby conditions. So this was the condition of that water bodies. Thereafter, we took up this for the rejuvenation, and then removed all the encroachments. Then connected all the sewage drains to the water bodies after constructing a small treatment plant on constructed wetland system. Then entire catchment area was developed in such a manner that each and every drop of rainwater can enter the water body through their gravity. And then gardening was there. This is the filter media so that the water can percolate through the ground and then ultimately go to the water body, main water body. So this is the outcome of that rainwater harvesting after 3 years. The water table last year, I have learned that 1.4 meter was increased, and I think this rainy season it will also increase by 2 meter, by maybe 2 meter. Landscaping is very beautiful. The surrounding communities joining, they are participating in this project, and it is will be a good. Rather, it has become a recreational space for the community, and of course overall environment has been improved. Flooding system, the inundation problem has been um, uh, removed over there. So the last one is the awareness program. I have explained about the conservation. I have explained about the this rainwater harvesting, how to go for the community level rainwater harvesting instead of the individual level rainwater harvesting, which can be useful. But without awareness program, these are the missions which cannot be successful at all. And you know, the school children are very sensitive. If you make them aware by going to the school, and then you learn them that how the water is important for you and for your generation, next generation, so they can sensitize their parents, their nearby residents, and everyone. So school children are the most dedicated and very sensitive media which can go for the this program, this mission for the rainwater harvesting system as well as for the water conservation. Though it can be spread through media, newspaper, etc. But nobody, I have seen that nobody go through these in the newspaper, that what is the rainwater harvesting system, what is the conservation, how to go about it. And if somebody by default say go through, then forget again. So this is the mentality of our. So you can go for the Nukkad Natak through RWAs, through NGOs. This may be also fruitful if you make the spread the awareness program through RWAs and NGOs, through pamphlets. And politicians are most effective. They can be proved very effective, but for their political mileage, they don't go for the awareness. They go for the awareness, then don't pay the bill. They go for the awareness. Oh, water is free. So you don't you focus on this water conservation or rainwater harvesting. So they they teach them in this manner. If they are really responsible person, of course politician is a very responsible person. अगर वो इस तरह से समझाए लोगों को, तो लोग बाग उसको ज्यादा मानते हैं, उसको अच्छा लेते हैं, बड़ा सेंसिटिव ले लेते हैं, बड़ा सिंसियरली लेते हैं. बट दे डोंट गो इन दैट मैनर. But they can play a very valid role, and then vast role in spreading the awareness program. I think this is the end of this slides. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू त्यागी. बहुत ही आपने बहुत डिटेल में वेरी वेरी सिस्टमेटिक एंड टू द पॉइंट व्यूअर्स को बताया किस तरह से. बट इन एडिशन में 2-3 चीजें और आपने कवर कर दिया एंटायर थिंग्स. मैं एक और 2-3 चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट और जस्ट बताना चाहूंगा व्यूअर्स को कि पर्टिकुलरली जो वेस्टेज ऑफ वाटर होता है इन घरों में, हमारे जो टैंक्स होते हैं, ओवरहेड टैंक्स हैं, और कई बार क्या है कि हम लोग अगर उसमें अलार्म सिस्टम कनेक्टेड नहीं है तो लॉट ऑफ वाटर इज वेस्टेज जो है उसमें. तो इट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट ऑल्सो कि हमारे जितने व्यूअर्स देख रहे हैं कि हर जिनके यहाँ पे नहीं है ओवरहेड टैंक्स में, और जहाँ भी आपका वाटर जो चाहे अंडरग्राउंड भी इवन हो, तो वो वाटर का ओवरफ्लो, वो जस्ट वेस्टेज है, किसी
वहाँ
काम का नहीं है।
RWA का रोल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है उसमें।
जी 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 जी
जी।
तो उसमें अगर आपको मोस्ट पावर और वाटर दोनों की आपकी वेस्टेज जो है बचेगी, क्योंकि देखिए मोटर चलती रहती है, अननेसेसरी वाटर
Yes.
वेस्ट होता रहता है। तो ये मैंने इवन कई स्कूलों में देखा, मैं नियर बाई आसपास जाते हुए मैंने इवन उनको रोका टोका भी, इस तरह के स्कूल्स हैं, वो बॉदर नहीं करते कि कोई तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की है, बिजली है, पानी है। बट आई थिंक दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एरिया ऑल्सो, कि हम जो अलार्म सिस्टम जो अगर इस तरह से लगाएंगे तो उसमें। दूसरा ये कि रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग का त्यागी जी ने ऑलरेडी बताया, मैंने खुद ऑब्जर्व किया, बहुत जगह लगा लिया, और अगर उसकी बिफोर मानसून एंड आफ्टर मानसून क्लीनिंग नहीं है, और प्रॉपर अगर वो नहीं क्लीनिंग, तो उसका पर्पज नहीं होता, वो चोक हो जाएगा, वो रेन वाटर को हार्वेस्टिंग को वो हार्वेस्ट नहीं करेगा। तो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि उसकी मेंटेनेंस पे ध्यान, एनुअल मेंटेनेंस एटलीस्ट है, कि बिफोर मानसून के पहले, और उसको जो भी आपके सिस्टम लगाया हुआ है, चाहे गवर्नमेंट बॉडी ने लगाया हुआ, चाहे कोई एजेंसी ने हो, तो वो एटलीस्ट क्लीनिंग उसकी इंपॉर्टेंट हो, चाहे होटल्स हैं, हॉस्पिटल्स हैं, या कोई भी इस तरह के, चाहे किसी तरह गवर्नमेंट इन्फोर्स से कराया गया हो, इन्वायरमेंट इम्पैक्ट असेसमेंट जो नोटिफिकेशन का है, जो एनवायरमेंट क्लियर्स देते हैं उससे हुआ हो, या किसी होटल्स में हो, या कहीं मॉल्स में, तो उनकी क्लीनिंग है, उनके लिए इन्फोर्समेंट बहुत जरूरी है, बिफोर मानसून एंड आफ्टर मानसून। उससे बहुत आपको फर्क पड़ता है वाटर इसके जो है। दूसरा, बहुत से गवर्नमेंट ने, आज दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट ने बहुत बड़े स्टेप लिए। अप स्ट्रीम स्टोरेज जो है दिल्ली में, जो बिफोर जो है, जो रिवर यमुना आती है उसके बिफोर पल्ला के पास, बहुत से ह्यूज एरिया में जो अप स्ट्रीम स्टोरेज जो वाटर रिजर्वायर बना के वाटर स्टोरेज किया है, ये बहुत अच्छा काम, बिकॉज जिसमें आपका अननेसेसरी वाटर जो वाटर वेस्टेज वो आपका जो है ड्यूरिंग जो है नॉन मानसून आपके ड्रिंकिंग वाटर या अदर पर्पज के लिए भी काम आता है। तो ये जितनी भी रिवर्स पे अगर लैंड अवेलेबल है, तो आप स्टीम जो है स्टोरेज बना सकते हैं, वाटर को काफ़ी कुछ जो है ये स्टोर ये कर सकते हैं। और दूसरा इंपॉर्टेंट बात है कि जो इंसेंटिव एंड पेनाल्टी पे दोनों पे फोकस किया जाए। अब ये ऐसे काम नहीं चलने वाला है कि आपने बता दिया कि भाई लगाइए, इन्फोर्समेंट करें, जब तक उस पर लोगों को ये नहीं होगा कि आप अगर आप लगा रहे हैं उस पर आपको वाटर बिल में, जैसे दिल्ली जल बोर्ड ने किया, इंसेंटिव मिल रहा है कि अगर आप लगाते हैं तो आपको वाटर बिल में छूट है, मिल रही है उसको, और अगर नहीं लगा रहे हैं तो आपको पेनल्टी पड़ रही है। तो इन लोगों को इस तरह से आएगा, उसका इन्फोर्समेंट ठीक ढंग से होना चाहिए। ये चीज़ें त्यागी जी ने बहुत डिटेल में बताया। तो ये कुछ पॉइंट्स में अपने व्यूअर्स को चाहेंगे कि ये सब चीज़ें अगर करेंगे तो हम वाटर की जो क्राइसिस है, अभी नीति आयोग ने कहा कि जो 21 एटलीस्ट इंडिया के जो ये और भी सिटीज हो सकते हैं इसमें, कि जितने भी इंक्लूडिंग जो मेजर सिटी हैं, दिल्ली है, बेंगलोर है, हैदराबाद है, चेन्नई है, बहुत ही क्राइसिस हो रही हैं, और हम से सिचुएशन देखते रहते हैं, तो बहुत सिचुएशन को इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं। तो मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि आज जो जितना प्रोग्राम देखा है वो सब उस पर
अनिल जी,
फॉलो
मैं
करें।
एक मिथ
जी
थोड़ा क्लैरिफाई करना चाहूंगा। जैसा आपने कहा ना कि स्टोरेज जो ओवरफ्लो है उसको रोकने के लिए लोग बाग वो बनाए, अलार्म लगाएं। लोगों में एक बड़ी वो है, एक जिज्ञासा कहिए या ये कहिए कि मिथ है एक दिमाग में कि इसमें बहुत एक्सपेंसिव है, जबकि इसमें सिर्फ 100 रुपए का खर्चा आता है।
जी जी जी
अलार्म सिस्टम में सिर्फ 80 रुपए का अलार्म आता है, 20 रुपए का तार, और उसको अगर लगा दो आप अलार्म सिस्टम में तो सिर्फ 100 रुपए का खर्चा आता है। लोग बाग समझते हैं, उसको समझते हैं कि ऑटोमेटिक सिस्टम होता है। ऑटोमेटिक सिस्टम नेचुरली 4,500 का लगता है, क्योंकि इसमें जैसे वो भरेगी टंकी वो ऑटोमेटिकली बंद हो जाता है। लेकिन
बट
अलार्म
मैनुअल में
सिस्टम, मैनुअल जो
जी
अलार्म सिस्टम है कि भाई ये तुम्हारा टैंक भर गया,
बंद
उसमें
कर
सिर्फ
दो।
100 रुपए का खर्चा आता है।
जी जी
अगर लोग समझ लें इस चीज को तो उसमें कोई भी खर्चा नहीं है खास।
जी
ये
बिल्कुल,
लोगों
तो
को
ये बहुत
करना
जरूरी
चाहिए,
है।
वो
ये
बहुत
अवेयरनेस
जरूरी है।
इसीलिए इसी माध्यम, आई थिंक ये आपके जो आपने मैसेज दिया है इसके थ्रू जो है हमारे
जी,
जो
मैंने कहा ना
यूट्यूब।
RWA यहाँ इसका
जी जी
इम्पोर्टेंट रोल हो जाता है। जी
जी जी सो थैंक यू। मैं विवेक जी से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि फाइनली आज के प्रोग्राम को जो सम अप करते हुए, जो व्यूज हैं अपने व्यूअर्स को देते हुए, वी कैन क्लोज देन। ओवर टू विवेक जी।
त्यागी जी ने बहुत ही डिटेल में हम लोग को आज समझाया। इट इज अ मैटर ऑफ ग्रेव कंसर्न कि नाउ वी हैव ओनली 1869 metric cube of water per person. Then he's told us about 1% is in the lakes and the rivers, and only 3% of the water is fresh river water. Recycling of water, yes, of course, for each home is very difficult, but it can be implemented in apartment blocks. And I think government should, जो ये large complexes बन रहे हैं, they should be encouraged to put up effluent treatment plants where the water can be fully reused. It's very important. Uh, Change in lifestyle, of course, I agree. Brushing, shower, etc. is very good. I also agree with what Tyagiji has recommended, that the GST exemption should be there to encourage people using water saving devices, like where you have aeration in the water before using, etc. All these things are very, very important. I hope Government of India takes note of this and they do some kind of GST exemption on these water saving devices across the country. I think this is very, very essential. And I think we need to bring in more and more awareness in children. Through children, a lot of parents are getting educated in today's world, because it is the future of the children which is going to get most affected with the shortage of water which is going to come in coming time, and the polluted water which may be coming in the time to come. With this, I would like to thank Tyagi ji and Dr. Anil Kumar for this program today. Thank you very much. आपका म्यूट है अनिल कुमार।
सपना वी कैन लाइव जो है बंद कर दें।